So we'll begin every practice in child's pose. Target of child's pose is going to be your hips. We're going to start here for just a couple of minutes. Explore the distance you're keeping between your two knees. If you're a little short right here, just kind of open it up. Just feel it out a little bit. Come down. If your forehead doesn't reach the mat, maybe bring a block in to support it. And you can just stay in stillness right here. Or you can explore little movements like potentially bringing your arms out to the right or left, taking kind of a side stretch. Bring your fingertips up nice and tall to spider tip. Walk them out to the other side, etc. But the most important thing you do is just settle in and be here for at least 2 minutes. And you start to come to your breath. Just start to watch it. And then start to deepen it. Slow it down. And then the next breath you come to, draw it slowly through the nose. Open up the mouth and audibly release it. Take another deep breath in. Exhale it out. Press your way up to child's pose. Tabletop, I'm sorry. This is going to be kind of hard for me, buddy. So, in tabletop, you'll press down through those hands, lengthen up through your arms by pulling the belly up and in. And we're just going to integrate the spine with that cat and cow. So we drop the belly, look up. As you do that, inhale. And then arch, look back between your knees and exhale. Any little movements you like or you can find inside these postures, you take them. Deep breath in. Give yourself like 3 to 5 rounds of cat-cow right here. Just waking up the body a bit here. There's so many different little variations of this practice, but I'm going to try to run you straight through one without much fluff so you get the highest impact out of it. Last one, arch that back, empty the breath, and then release back to tabletop. Press your right heel straight back. Take the left hand and reach. You're pressing against that heel and then reaching through the tippy tips of the fingers. Draw that knee and elbow down to meet. Pause for just a moment. Extend it back out. And then do that one more time. Knee to elbow, extend it, lengthening, and then releasing. Press the left heel back, right arm reaches. Lengthen, draw it down, release it, draw it down, release it, lengthen, and then let it go. We're going to make our way up to downward facing dog. So in down dog, set your feet about hips width distance apart. Soften those knees and maybe just right away start to step down on those heels. Start to bring the hamstrings into this. The idea here is you want to explore that distance you're keeping between your hands and your feet. See how this doesn't feel right for my body? And neither does this. You find your sweet spot to bring that tailbone kind of to the highest point you can. And then you release the head and neck softly between the two arms. Gently shake it, yes and no. And then we'll take the right heel up to the sky, bend the knee, and then open through that hip. Press through this left hand to drive your energy. And then exhale the breath, release the foot. Opposite side, bend, open, press through that right hand, and then release. Walk your hands up to your feet. Come up to a halfway lift. And explain this posture to you. Don't rush this one. Lift through the hips to lengthen the hamstrings. Pull in through your core. And then press gently to come out through the crown of your head and lengthen that spine right here. And I always like to start this first one just spending a little moment in it before I release into ragdoll. Ragdoll's opposite hand, opposite elbow. And soften these knees. You might explore just swaying and kind of gently pulling on the back sides of those elbows. Maybe shake that head, yes and no, make sure it's loose. Then you release your hands. Press through your feet, grip muscle to bone as you rise up, extended mountain. I know you've got height things, but look at this. This is all good. This is all good. Make work what you have. So with this first extended mountain, I like to come right into my heart after I reach up and just stop for a second. Set an intention. Health, weight loss, breath. But make sure you're present. And then you reach up again. If this is your reach up, so be it. Then release to a bow. Inhale up to that half lift, and then step back to downward facing dog. I'll have you shift forward into high plank, release the knees, come all the way down to the belly. 3 cobras. The lift comes from the sternum. Keep your hands right inside the rib cage. As you rise, you inhale, just a baby back bend. Don't go all the way up. And then release the cheek down. Come back to center, cobra. Release the opposite cheek. And then come back to center, rise. This time as you exhale the breath, press back to child's pose. Try to match that exhale with the flow. Pause here, take a breath, deep in. Deep out, press back up to tabletop, and make your way up to downward facing dog. Take a couple rounds of breath right here. Then turn your gaze up towards your hands. Step, right foot to left foot, halfway lift, bow, and then root through those feet. Grip those feet to the mat as you rise up, extend the mountain. Exhale and release it. Come up halfway, step back to downward facing dog. Shift forward, high plank. Pause right here. Here's a good one for you. Set everything here, be here. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale the breath as you press back into down dog. Do that like twice. Shift forward, high plank. Deep breath in, exhale it out as you release back. And then we'll shift all the way forward. We'll take our chaturanga, so those wrists come in front of your hands. You lower down to the low plank, unhook the toes, upward facing dog. Empty your breath, downward facing dog. And then turn your gaze, step or float. Halfway lift, forward fold, rise up, extended mountain. We'll put it all together now. Bow, exhaling the breath every time. Inhale to a half lift. Step back to downward facing dog. Shift forward, high plank, vinyasa, low plank, to up dog, to down dog. So those are the Sun A's, that high mountain to fold, to up half lift, to high plank, to low plank, to up dog, to down dog. Do at least 4 Sun A's at the beginning of the practice. After you get through that little integration piece, you set your hands to your heart. Do at least 4 of those Sun A's, and then we'll move to Sun B's, and you're gonna do at least 4 of those as well. So we'll step or float, half lift, bow, chair pose. Rise up right here. Balancing some strength with ease. So we've got, take a peek, see if you can see your toes, and then lift them up and spread them. Squeeze muscle to bone here, and then be soft right through here. And then bow. Half lift, step right to high plank this time. Take that vinyasa. As you arrive back to downward facing dog, take a step forward with your right foot, warrior one. Always looking to stack our joints, so try and remember that throughout the practice. Knees right over ankles. Rise up. Then open to warrior two. Flip this palm, take a reverse. Give yourself 3 breaths. Each breath, just find a little more. 2, 1. Then we cartwheel those hands and we take that vinyasa, that high to low plank, up dog to down dog, and then we step forward left side, warrior one. Rise, open, reverse, 3, 2, 1, you flow, vinyasa. Always in each round in between, try to take 2 full rounds of cleansing breath at minimum. I don't know if this is going to work out with my music, because this might take a little longer. I don't know how this is going to set, so it'll be what it'll be. You'll figure it out. You can use it. So turn your gaze, step or hop, halfway lift, forward fold, and rise, chair. And then you can always come here, open up, swing them in, open up, and then release. Halfway lift, high plank, right to it, vinyasa. Downward facing dog, and then right side, warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Inhale and lift here. Exhale, release. Do 3 of these. I'm only gonna do 2. No, I'll do 3. I don't know how this is gonna go, bro. Just follow me. Release it, flip the palm, take a reverse, and then flow those hands down to the mat, step back, vinyasa. Left side, warrior one. Rise up. Open up. Press up. Exhale. Press up. Exhale. Press up. Exhale. Take the reverse. Cartwheel your hands down to the mat and flow. Vinyasa. I'm going to try to move quick here so I can catch up with my time. Come back to down dog. Step forward, right side, crescent lunge. So the high runner's lunge. Cactus your arms open for your heart. Spin, warrior two. Reverse it. And then come to this extended side angle. You might adjust the distance in your feet, knee over ankle. You're reaching up, out, over. I want you to intensify this. Draw the right hand to get a hold of this fake beach ball. And be here for 3, 2, 1, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands and step back, vinyasa. Left side, crescent lunge. open. Reverse. Extended side angle on that opposite side. Remember, just up, out, over. Draw this up, press down through that left foot, squeeze that muscle to bone. 3, 2, warrior 2. And then cartwheel and float. Vinyasa. Emptying the breath. Breathing in, emptying the breath. Okay, I think we're kind of back on track here in terms of staying with the music. I think I gotta let that go though. You'll find your beats. Step the right foot through, come to a low runner's lunge this time. Release that toe, slide that foot open, come up to your hands, your knees right here. Target right here, so get into that just by leaning just a little bit. Look straight forward. I don't know why I'm doing this with the heat on, bro. Fucking idiot. This is my 3rd time doing this practice in less than 12 hours. Take this right arm, put it inside the leg, and use that leverage to swing open. Take your gaze to the other hand. 3, 2, release those 2 hands inside the right foot. Elevate the knee. Lizard. So you might splay that right knee out, but definitely lower. Right hip is your target here. Just get into it. You got to make the movements once you get into the posture that fit your body. Deep breaths. Release the knee. Step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Left side, low runner's lunge. Release that toe, slide that leg out, come up to your knee here. Right hip flexors, kind of that area. If you lean forward, you can feel yourself getting into it. Deep breaths. Take that other hand, bring it inside the leg, sit up tall. Follow this hand as you open right through your center. 3, 2, find lizard on the opposite side. Elevate the knee. Work into this right left hip here. Just any way you can find it, man. You know what I mean? Use the momentum and the weight of your body to get down into it. You kind of got to work each posture inside it once you land. It's going to be different for each of us. Deep breaths. Release the right knee. Step back, downward facing dog. Turn your gaze, step or float to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. You know I'm turning to face you. You don't do that, right? So fold, chair pose, come up again. Bring your hands into your heart, sink a little lower. Twist either side, take this to the right. Stay just like this to start, or take these hands, open them up, reach, press through the feet, lift through the heart. 3, 2, come to your center. Exhale and bow. Part your feet. Peace fingers come to your big toes. You're going to use that leverage to dig in. So get the crown of your head loose, point it down to the mat, and then use the toes to find more. You might shift the hips just a little left and right. Deep breaths. Release those toes, toe heel the feet back together, half lift. Bow, Utkatasana, chair pose, come back up. Hands come to your heart. Twist, opposite side. Expand, open, press, lift. 3, 2, 1, come to your center. Exhale, release it. Part those feet again. This time bring the palms to the front side. If you can't get that stuff, dude, get a hold of your ankles. Start somewhere. You're again using that leverage to dig in here a little deeper. Release the feet, come into this yogi squat right here. Bring the pelvic floor up just a little bit. 10, 9, 8, I'm right on time. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step back, downward facing dog. Am I right on time or am I early? Down dog is where you're at regardless. I think I'm actually early, goddammit. Okay. So I'm throwing out everything. This is just gonna be for you. You find your own music, all right? So we're gonna turn our gaze, step to the top of the mat, halfway lift, bow, rise, extended mount. Tadasana, right here, mountain pose. I'm doing my best, brother. I don't know how it's gonna look, how it's gonna sound. I hope it doesn't suck. From mountain pose, here's a perfect time just to take a quick pause. So what I probably did there is I moved through the first 10 minutes of that practice faster than I would have if I would have had some pace and some idea of where I'm at. I'm doing this blind. But I think I talked you through what you should do. You should do 4 or 5 of those sun A's and sun B's that I showed you as we got to them. Work your way through that other stuff. All that front side of the practice should take about 30 minutes. If you can make that work to come into that 30-minute point, then at about the mark of 30, you'll come to this mountain pose, and we'll do some standing balance, okay? So we'll start with tree. It's important to know you can just ground this foot on the earth to start. That's a perfectly acceptable place to start. Get your foundation. Bring your hands here. Find something on a wall to set your gaze, one thing, lock your eyes on it. And then take an expansive move. Just reach up, come out. If you're here, you're here. It's all good. Come back in, come back through, release the foot. As you get more confident, the leg comes up higher, right? But don't rush that. If it doesn't feel good and you're not getting enough out of it, just keep it grounded until you build some strength. Come to your center, expansive. Release it. And then we're going to come to eagle. Same thing, right leg over left, but you can ground that toe right there. You wrap the right arm underneath the left. Just meet yourself where you're at, dude. It's not about what it looks like. You just got to start somewhere and get the feel. So you're here, and then you unwind it. And you take the opposite side. Again, the leg starts to come up with more confidence and more structure and stability you find. You wrap, you pull into your center line, and then release it. Always take a second to breathe. Come back to that eagle. I'm going to turn so I can show you this one. You wrap it up. Once it's tight and you feel good, release the right leg, release the bind, and fly to airplane. Soften this knee a bit, lifting through the chest. Release the hands down to the mat. This is standing leg splits. Just stay right here, explore. I like to get upside down with a couple grounded leapfrogs. That space might not allow that for you, but if you can, even just little half pops, it's a little extra strength builder. And then we drop the right ankle behind the left and find a bound forward fold. Square those hips back up. Release where you can. These blocks, no matter what you're doing, all they are is bringing the mat closer to your hands. We're not all anatomically built to put our hands flat on the mat. That's why these are here. so you can use that. Maybe this will be like a 45-minute flow, maybe even better. So it is going to be what it is going to be. You know I'm a perfectionist, so I'm disappointed I'm not going to be able to match this up to my music, but I think I'll get you something that you can work with. Unbind the feet, halfway lift, bow, rise up, extended mountain. You know, just here, if you've got a ceiling issue, release it. Take the eagle on the left side, left leg over right, left arm wraps under. Here's a modification if that arm wrap doesn't work for you right out of the gate, just come here. Okay, and then unbind it, fly into airplane. Release the hands, standing leg splits. You can just stay right here, exploring. You might come up to the tips of the finger. You might start to figure out how to do this. You know, don't worry about it. If you fall, you stumble, I'm sure you know all that. Release it back down. Drop the left ankle behind the right. Find that opposite side, bound forward fold. This is whole body integration. Whole body strengthening, lengthening, opening. There's fucking nothing like it. It's the ultimate practice. Unbind your feet. Halfway lift. Forward fold, rise back up, extended mountain. And then Tadasana. All right, let's do one more here. Standing leg raise. I call this put your pants on, because you'll never put your pants on the same after you do this for a year. So bring this right knee up. Find some stability right here, right? And then press that down towards the floor and bring it to a hover. Pressing out with the hands, draw the right toe up towards that right wrist. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release it. Opposite side. Again, find your foundation stability before you do anything. Then come on down, press on out, kick it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it go. Sweep them up. If you can't get this right hand to the left wrist and take a side bend because of your ceiling, bring your hands to your elbows. Can you even fucking see me? I don't fucking know. And do a bend like here, right? Hopefully I don't have this so fucked up it doesn't do anything for you, but release it. So what I wanted to show you is right hand to left wrist, bend. Left hand to right wrist, bend. Release it back. One more time, rise up. This time as you come up, exhale and bow. Halfway lift. You can always pause in these half lifts and get long through the spine. And then as you're ready, step back to downward facing dog. Okay. We're going to take a big step forward and come back to warrior one, right side. Square those hips. Come on up. And then cactus your arms open through your heart. Swing them all the way around. Try to get the hands clasped. Once you do that, explore. Peeling, lifting, breathing. Take 3 or 4 breaths right here. Open up through your shoulders. Release it to warrior 2. We're going to come to triangle. So we'll straighten the right leg. Lock this in. Reach out and fold. Take your hand up. Take your gaze with it. Spread those fingers and reach. Come back up, warrior 2. Relax the hands and spin your toes to the wide edge of the mat. Come back to that bind. Look up, and then exhale while you bow. We're going to take this bind and use it to wring and rinse the best you can. Meet yourself where you're at. It's all good. Release it as you're done. Draw the right hand over towards the left foot. Reach with the left arm. Swing that left hand over, reach with the right arm. Release yourself to center. Explore some side lunges. Explore the right hand to the left ankle, just twisting. Vice versa. Explore bringing your hands and walking your fingers back through the legs, seeing where you land. Just a few breaths here for yourself to find something, and then repeat it. And then we're going to come back through center, walk our hands to the top of the mat, spin our feet, step your back foot up and in, rise up. Square those hips, a straight front leg, reach up to lengthen, and then bow. This is pyramid. I like blocks here, because now I can take these blocks, press down and away from the body to get in deeper to the target. Deep breaths. Just keep coming back to that breath. You're going to lose track of it, but keep coming back. And then twisted pyramid. You take that hand up just a little bit and rise with the other. Take your gaze with it. And then exhale that out. Step right foot to left foot. Halfway lift. Forward fold and step back, downward facing dog. Take a couple cleansing breaths. And then we'll come to the left side, warrior one. Rise up. Open up. Warrior two. Find that triangle to start to flow. This time release that hand straight down. Open those feet back up. Plant the right hand in the center and reach up with the left. Take your gaze with it. Exhale that out. Opposite side. Reach. Exhale. Spin the toes. Walk the hands. Opposite side, whatever you're on, step up. This is pyramid. Find everything. Center those hips. Lengthen up high. And then bow. Never hesitate to take a second and get yourself set. Pressing down and away, allow that head to soften and get into it. And then you take that block up just a little bit and you reach with the opposite hand. Exhale, that's twisted pyramid. Step the up foot to the other, halfway lift, forward fold, step back to downward facing dog. Oh, buddy. So shift forward to high plank here. Come down to the forearms and take dolphin plank. At least 10 breaths. Challenge yourself. If you want to go longer, you can. But 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Release the knees. Stack your hands. Put a cheek down on your hands right here. We'll be on the ground the rest of the practice. So that's the first, 40 minutes, 35 minutes of the practice. That's where all the heart rate and the sweat and everything comes in. What you can expect from here on out is just being down. We're going to continue to open and lengthen throughout wherever we can, and we're going to hit the core. So I always like to switch my cheeks here after a moment just to counter where I'm at. Keep everything in balance. Deep breaths. I always give myself some time right here. You just did a lot of work. Take as much time as you need. You can move your head to your forehead. Stay with the breath though. And then when you're ready to move, bring the arms alongside the body. We're going to find some locus here. So that lift is going to occur through the sternum. Inhale as you rise, and then the limbs come to meet you. And then you release. Take a second. Come back for a second locus. Lift. Release. You stay with that locus, Andy, or you bend your knees and try to set up a floor bow. This may be down the road a little bit. If you can't get the tops of your feet, you get shins or ankles. But again, you can just repeat locus here. So it's locus or bow for the second two. So I'll show you this bow, pressing the thighs down, lifting through the sternum, pressing against the feet, and then releasing. And then one more, locus or bow, rise, stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, let it go. Cactus your arms to the earth. If you haven't bent your knees yet, go ahead and do it now, because we're going to swing them left, swing them right. Explore full rotations, maybe even just anything that you like here, brother. There's something you'll find that feels good to your lower back. I'm kind of just showing you all types of variations here, but it's really just like counter that. Just make the movements. And then release the feet. Bring your hands inside your rib cage. Take the slowest and most intentional upward facing dog of the whole practice. Just press up, breathe in. Empty your breath, downward facing dog. Release yourself down to your seat. We're going to set up our bridge, these back bends. So the soles of your feet come right up next to your sit bones. Pretend each foot has 4 corners. You're just going to press evenly through the 4 corners to lift up through your hips. Meet your body where it's at. Once you kind of max that, 1 vertebrae at a time, we let it go. And then I want you to take constructive rest in between these. So you bring your feet wide off, and you just explore movement again. Maybe it's 1 knee drops in at a time. Maybe you like swinging them both over and holding for a moment. Switching that. Come back to your breath. And then bring your feet back to center. Bridge 2. Press up. As you get better and bolder, you might explore a bind here. What that allows you to do is to come up further on those shoulders and bring the hips a little higher. Don't rush to this. You can hurt yourself going too fast. As you're ready, release it down. Find that constructive rest again. We're going to do just 3 of these. And then come back to center. Let's hit the final one. Bridge. As you grow in your practice, you'll learn to maybe start to come into a full wheel here, but don't rush that. Press up through your bridge or your wheel, come down very slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. On this last one, the soles of the feet touch. 1 hand comes to the heart, 1 to your belly. And just take a second and feel this connection. Supta Baddha Konasana. It's kind of like the second pause in the practice. We give ourselves some pause. When we come to the standing leg balances, we give ourselves a little pause when we come down to the floor and stack our hands. And then we give ourselves just another little pause right here before we get into the most important part, which is our core. in my humble opinion. Okay, so both hands will come to your thighs. Help yourself draw those knees back to center. We're going to start by pressing the feet to the sky, bringing the hands right around in front of your sit bones. Pull the belly down towards your spine. Drop the legs 30. 60. Bring them to a hover. Set your gaze at your feet. Swim. And then take a wide circle back up. Reset. 3 more. 30. 60. Hover. Swim. Big circle. Reset. 30. 60. Hover. Swim. Reset. Last one. Come back up. This time we'll go 30. 60. Hover for 5. 4. 3. 2. Release the feet. Draw your hands above your head. Link a finger and reach as you lengthen through that spine. Press the heels out. Point the toes. Find it. It's a strong posture to fully lengthen the body. And then release the arms back alongside it. Press the feet back up. Interlock your hands. Drop your right leg to a hover. Draw the right elbow towards the left knee. Switch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Release them. Take that stretch. Arms come back. Tabletop the knees. Interlock the hands, abdominal twist. We're going to do 40. Reach, switch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back. Ah! Lengthen, brother. Whew. God damn. That one burned. Release the hands. Here's the last thing I need from you. Press them back up. Interlock the hands. Drop that right leg. Draw the right elbow to the left knee. Pause right here. Soften through the face and neck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 3, 2, 1. Switch. 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. I again would take a lengthen. Some people just like to come straight to giving themselves a big old hug. That's where you're headed. Appreciation and love. This is a fucking hard practice. And then rock and roll your way up to your seat. We're going to set up half pigeon. So come through downward facing dog. First thing I like to do is take the right leg, lengthen it, shake it out a little bit, and then lay it down. Set the foundation. You don't ever want to be here or here. Square it up. Meet your body where it's at. If you need here, I just don't want your head hanging loose. So get a block, stack your fists. We stay here for at least 60 seconds. Right hip is the target. As you lay here and breathe, emptying the breath, you're opening space inside that right target. You got to use your momentum to get into it. I'm sure that makes sense. So just little baby movements as you breathe. Oh. Damn it. 30 seconds. Don't rush this one. These hips are so important. And then we'll start to come up through our center. I always like to take a second right here. Just rebuild this full pigeon. I like to look left, look right, and then release it. Again, shake that leg out. Give it some relief before you put it down. Extend, lengthen, set it down. Build the foundation up. Square everything. And then release into it. This is going to be just short of 60 minutes. I'm confident you could build your own music to it if you need to. You might just want to fucking use it the way it is, I don't know. "30 seconds. All right, start to come through. Being just slow and deliberate here again. Always like to finish just by kind of. And then release yourself to your seat. Both feet straight out in front of you. Hi, Andy. Start by drawing this one up and in. Seated tree. The idea here is you turn that belly towards this left thigh. Reach up. Just meet yourself where you're at. It's not about touching your toes. It's about feeling good and putting it on repeat. You can't stop these results if you figure out a way to get it consistently into your life over and over. Release that. Set your opposite side up. Again, turn the belly a little bit. Reach up and bow. If you can, get inside the hand on that bottom foot just to leverage it to get in deeper. Let it go whenever you're ready. Both feet come out in front. Remove the flesh from your sit bones by wiggling and reaching and then releasing. Exhaling. Meet yourself where you're at. It ain't about touching your toes, brother. I sure as shit couldn't a couple of years ago. And then let it go. I'm gonna have you get your block. The block has this low setting and then the high setting. We're gonna go to waterfall. So you just wanna elevate your sacrum here. Get it to a comfortable spot. Just be curious, explore that block, which one works best for you with setting. And then press the feet all the way to the ceiling. I give this a minimum of 60 seconds. This one's science, bro. We're countering one of the biggest defaults we have as humans, which is standing on our feet. So we're letting all the blood drain from the bottoms of our feet, down through our legs, down through our thighs. It's all pooling in our backs. It's calming the nervous system. It's soothing it. It's a really powerful posture. Sometimes people get uncomfortable in it, but that's what this practice is really all about. It's learning how to use your breath. It's learning how to move through hard things. And it's learning how to try to stay present. The flexibility in the workout is cool and all, but eventually that's what happens, those main things. And then you're strengthening and conditioning muscles more than becoming flexible. You're getting strong. Come back to your breath. Thirty seconds. All right, we're going to safely roll back just a little bit, remove those. As you do, use that momentum to carry your body up. We're coming to fish. So you tuck each hand into your back pocket, come to your forearms, lift through the chest. This is the lone throat opener of the entire practice. Real quick though, pause. Notice that rebound coming back into your legs. Yeah, it's fucking rad. Open the throat, open the jaw. Slowly release that stuff. And then slowly come back up. Unhook your hands. Come back down onto your back. Draw your right knee up and in. Give it a gentle squeeze before you come to that supine twist. Intentionally stack that right hip on the left. Tee the right arm out, bring the left hand down on the right knee. As you empty the breath, you gently press and twist deeper. Release that. Come back through center. Give it a little more love before it goes back to the mat. Draw the left one up and in, same deal. Love, stack hips. Tee out arm, bring opposite hand to knee, empty breath, twist and press. Release it to center. Bend both your knees as you come back. Our final posture before we get into the second most important. Happy baby. So you want to get the outer top edges of your feet. If that's not possible, start with the ankles or shins, right? Because you want to press down, pull back, shift left, shift right. It's hamstrings, it's hips. They're accessible like no other possible way to get to them. And you can just spend a second here getting into them one last time. And then we're heading to Shavasana. So both legs come down, arms come alongside the body, palms are straight up to the sky. Give yourself this moment, these 2 minutes, just like we started the practice, allowing ourselves to settle into the space between the four corners of your mat. This is why we did this. 5,000 years ago, they created the physical practice of asana so that you could get to a place of meditation. That's the only reason they did it. So enjoy this deep stillness and this deep quiet you're going to create every time you move through this flow. So give yourself at least 90 seconds, if not 2 minutes. I'll shut up. All right, without rushing anything, start to just gently wiggle a couple of toes, maybe a couple of fingertips. Don't hurry here. Start to notice that natural breath as it returns, the one that you're not focused on being intentional with, just your normal prana, that life force. I, at this point, like to roll over to my favorite side, draw my knees up, and take one more posture, which is this grounded fetal. Kind of releases the lower back, and it gives me just one more moment to just really allow everything to land inside my body. Before I use the strength of this hand to press myself up, come to your seat. Take one more big root move here. So just take that deep breath in, reach up, exhale your hands down into your heart, and we'll pause again. This time to acknowledge the effort that it takes to fucking do this practice. You gotta be willing. It's not about strength, it's not about power, it's about resiliency and a willingness. So just sit there for a second and thank yourself. Draw those thumbs up to tap your forehead. I do that to acknowledge that we each have a unique inner light. None of us are the same. But in the same breath, come back here. I see you, I respect you, and we're nothing but equals. Namaste, my friend. That's how you do it, brother. Put it on repeat. Let me know if you got any questions.